Okay, I'm Zara. Through a magical book, I time traveled and ended up on the ship of the most feared pirate in history, Blackbeard. I went for a walk by the seaside. There I found a book on the shore and brought it home. I started reading it with great interest. The book was about the most feared sea pirate in history, Blackbeard, who is also known as a kind of water demon.
Wait. You don't even know Blackbeard. Come on, let's first understand his history, then we'll get back to the vlog. Blackbeard?
The Caribbean Sea in 1716, where the sea was a kingdom of fear and death. In this very sea, a terrifying name was born Blackbeard, but he became known in history as a pirate whose name alone made sailors tremble with fear. Blackbeard was no ordinary pirate. He was a man who turned fear itself into his greatest weapon. It is said that before battle, he would attach pieces of slow-burning fuses to his beard and light them on fire. Black smoke would surround his face, making him look like a devil rising from the sea. There was a terrifying confidence in his eyes, and his ship Queen Anne's Revenge was one of the most fearsome warships on the sea. Blackbeard quickly rose from small pirate crews and built a powerful crew of his own. He did not only loot treasure, but also controlled entire port towns through fear. His strategy was very simple. The more fear he could create, the less fighting he would have to do. Many times, enemies would surrender their weapons at the mere sight of his ship. The question is, was this terrifying man born this way? Or did the sea turn him into a monster? There is a dark history behind how he became such a fearsome pirate. I will tell you that at the end of the video. For now, let's talk about how long the reign of this terrifying pirate lasted, how his downfall came, and what happened in the end. The ending of his downfall will send chills down your spine. Blackbeard rose to power quickly, but his downfall was just as terrifying and dramatic. By 1718, his reign of fear had spread throughout the Caribbean. Port towns, merchants, and even powerful navies became cautious whenever they heard his name. But there came a time in history when even the greatest powers wanted to stop Blackbeard. The task of capturing him was given to a British naval officer, Lieutenant Robert Maynard. Maynard knew that an ordinary battle would not be enough to capture Blackbeard. This would be a fight between life and death. On November 22nd, 1718, that terrifying battle began near North Carolina. Blackbeard was confident with his ship. He did not believe that anyone could defeat him. The battle began suddenly. With the sound of gunfire, smoke, and screams, the sea seemed to turn into hell. With a sword and pistol in his own hands, Blackbeard charged into the fight. It is said that he continued fighting even after receiving more than 20 wounds. He seemed less like a man and more like a living monster of war. But in the end, he was defeated by superior numbers and strategy. Blackbeard died, and his head was cut off and hung from the front of the ship, so that everyone would understand that even fear comes to an end one day. His death was not just the end of a pirate, it was the end of an era. Now let's come to the main topic. Was Blackbeard cruel from birth? No, he was not born a monster. Circumstances, war, and life at sea gradually shaped him into what he became. Blackbeard was born in England to an ordinary family. Very little is known about his childhood, but history suggests that he did not come from a wealthy or powerful background. In other words, he was not a fearsome pirate from the very beginning. The turning point in his life came when he joined the Navy and later entered the world of piracy. At that time, the Caribbean was a turbulent place filled with war, poverty, and plunder. To survive in such an environment, one had to be strong, had to intimidate others, and had to be ruthless. Blackbeard quickly realized one thing. If people fear you, then you don't need to fight any battle. From this mindset, he began building his terrifying image: fire fuses in his beard, smoke, large weapons, and intimidating behavior.
Okay, now let me show you what happened to me.
While reading the book, I suddenly felt a strange presence of some unknown force behind me. I turned back and saw a mirror, but the mirror did not look normal. Inside the mirror, scenes of another world appeared. Curious, I touched the mirror, and a strange force pulled me in. After entering that mysterious force, I found myself on a huge ship. I looked around in shock and realized I was in a completely different world. Then I looked ahead on the ship and saw a group of terrifying pirates. At that moment, I understood that I had traveled back in time to Blackbeard's ship. They looked at me strangely and started moving toward me. After that, they captured me and took me to a room. They locked me inside that room, and then my struggle with a terrifying situation began. how I escaped from those dangerous pirates, and what other horrifying situations I had to face will be in my next video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to watch the video.